collective, they are trying to emphasize the idea of childhood trauma. Okay, they are emphasizing that childhood trauma is very prevalent right now. This season is really fucking rough on a lot of fucking people, and for very good reason. Because not only is the energy centered around, when you were a child, the things that you never got, the things that you did get, or the things that were more or less like, people half-assing their relationship with you as a child, between parent and child, between siblings, between whatever. Like it was just, to me, and on a span of what I was just reading into, it was traumatic. Okay, it was traumatic. They talk about being, well into your 20s and 30s and not being able to really consistently accept yourself. They also talked about that, you're 30 or you're 20 and you're 25 and you're still trying to move on, or you're still trying to get close enough to a real life that you actually could start like living and digesting like by yourself. Because to me, if it looks like here that, okay, so a lot of people told you how to fear people when you were a kid. A lot of people told you how to fear people, other people, but I don't think they taught you how to fear heights. And now what do I mean by that? I mean, people taught you how to fear how people would treat you. People taught you to be disappointed constantly by people. People taught you to be insecure when you're around groups. People taught you to have generalized anxiety. They taught you how to become a very insecure and dark individual when you were a child, right? But they never taught you how to endure when you would get somewhere in life, like how to endure like success, how to endure the heights of your life, like the happiness, how to sit there and accept happiness. That wasn't taught to you. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. Is like you're having a really hard time accepting happiness or coming close to happiness. Like it's making you sick, or it's making you want to throw up, or it's putting you off the deep end. It's triggering and traumatizing to you. Success in general, whether it be a relationship, whether it be finances, whether it be a job, it's triggering. And that's why you refuse to move forward, right? It's because your fear of people, not because of your fear of the heights or fear of the experience. Because from what I see is that you really do truly want to be successful. It's people's reaction that you're afraid of. You're afraid of people's reaction of when you get into a relationship. You're afraid of having children because of other people's reactions. You're afraid of having to, like, you've protected yourself for so long and put up so many different walls that you're just afraid of how people are going to try to take you down or essentially become your enemy. You're just afraid, okay? And that fear has created a lot of distress right now, or just stress in general when it comes to you being able to move forward. Because you know that you have these flaws, right? But it's like you try to, I think it's like you try to cope through working, you try to cope through your normal everyday, like you try to get that normalities in, where you're like, okay, I get my cup of coffee, I smoke my dope, I get my lemonade in the morning with the eggs, French toast and cheese and this and that and grits. Like you try to make normalcy a thing, right? And you try to make that feeling of like, where do I go from here go away? Or you try to make that feeling of like, oh, I'll never get what I deserve. I'll never get what I want. You try to make that go away because you know that, like, when you're being honest with yourself, you know that you're insecure. You know that you're hurting. Ace of Coins, Queen of Coins, and Seven of Staves. All cards of really good fortune. All cards, like, there could be a representation of a snake in your life. Now, to me, snakes are good luck. Snakes and spiders specifically. And because they're so highly feared, I feel like this is other people, and their view of you is that they fear your heights, or they feel like, if it makes sense, snakes and spiders won't attack people unless people come up on them, right? So like you'll leave everyone alone. You won't attack nobody. You won't act out or act a fool until people come up into your energy and start slinking around and doing shit they're not supposed to be doing, right? So a snake and a spider is very representative it's representative of your energy, of who you are. Okay, snake or a spider. And that's why I feel like that's actually good luck for you. That's good luck. But a lot of people will look at that and also be like, okay, well, can't a snake double as kind of like a double entendre? It's like, okay, there's double meaning underneath being a snake. Snakes have to shed their skin eventually, right? If they don't shed their skin, they'll die. If they don't shed their skin, they're gonna lose their life, or they'll lose their vision, they lose their sight. Like, if a snake doesn't shed its fucking skin, or a spider doesn't shed its molt, it literally dies. It's incapable of eating, and it slowly starves to death inside of its shell. So that's what's going on with y'all right now. You're preventing your own happiness, your own wellness, your own, structure. You're preventing your structure from actually working. So even though you created a structure, you're preventing it from working, like actually feeling good to you. The Empress. And that's why it kind of seems like they talk about aphrodisiac. So they could be talking about like, okay, well, I'm trying to bring in all this health and wellness. I'm drinking tea. I'm smoking this. I'm smoking that. Or I'm smoking herbs. I don't feel like it's marijuana. I feel like it's herb. So you're smoking some type of herb, or you're eating some type of herb. It's like, this is a cleansing, right? You're cleansing yourself. 8 of Cups here. You're cleansing yourself. You're avoiding. Right? You're avoiding. You're not confronting. You're avoiding people. You're allowing yourself at least space, but to actually tackle these things one-on-one, 9 of Coins is going to take a lot more effort. Okay, you're gonna have to keep doing what you're doing, essentially. Okay, and that maintaining that balance of like between like, okay, I'm an adult now, I'm grown now, right? My childhood, my trauma, and the things that are coming back to me right now, the memories that are coming back to me right now, is because I'm moving too fast, right? I'm moving too fast into something I'm not prepared for. And even if I am maybe physically prepared, I might not be mentally and emotionally prepared. And y'all need to deal with that shit, though. Y'all need to be ready to deal with that shit hands on, right? Confront it. Okay, we got the title card and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Confront it. That's what they're saying. Confront the evil of your background. Confront the darkness of your background. Confront the yins, the yangs, the ins, the outs, the masculines, the feminines. Confront all that shit, the moon and the reverse, so that you can become emotionally fulfilled and not feel like everything's hidden from you. Like, okay, what's the secret to life? Or what's the secret to getting through this period? Or what's the secret to getting money? Like, there's no secret. You're hiding it from yourself, right? You're hiding it from you, babe. You're hiding it from you. All right, collective. Let's see what's coming up for y'all. Like, just as an end result. Like, when will the situation be resolved? Like in your head. When will the situation be genuinely resolved? Okay, Confucius. So honestly, it's going to be now. It has to be. 10 of Staves. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be now. They're not giving you any other choice or any other option. It has to be now. Yeah, they said it's alive. So, when Dr. Madhead or whatever, I don't fucking care, honestly. But remember when he's trying to resurrect or bring back Frankenstein or bring back a human being, he's like sitting there and he's obsessed. Like he's fully interloped with this project with bringing back Frankenstein, like fully into it. He has literally his whole head up Frankenstein's ass, right? He is fully invested in doing this one motherfucking thing. Just like I feel like y'all should be fully invested in healing yourself. You should be fully invested in diving really fucking deep, and maybe not by yourself, because a lot of people can't do this shit by themselves. Let's be for real. But diving very, very deep into your psyche and finding all those little fucking triggers, right? Those traps. So for me, it feels like mines. Like there's little mines in your mind to where if people step on them, it triggers a whole entire episode. It just like makes you want to fucking Hulk out and go crazy. So you're taking all those little mines or all those little traps, all those little tripwires, and you're cutting them. You're cutting them loose. Okay, but you're doing this shit on your own by yourself so that nobody else has the right to trigger you. You know what I mean? Nobody else has the right to step over this line except for you. Okay? Except for you. High Priestess, it's happening now. It's happening now. You are cleansing and releasing now. You have to. You have to. Okay? This is not going to go away in just, a couple of days. Maybe it's going to take a couple of months. But at the end of the day, once you get this period started, once this shit starts, it just doesn't end. You're able to walk over all that shit. Nobody ever will touch you and trigger you ever again. Some of y'all are going to have trigger within the next 10 hours. You're going to have a trigger, or you're going to have an episode, or perhaps you already had one. But within the next 10 hours, you're going to feel like you're flying, bitch. You're going to feel like you're literally fucking flying. You're going to feel like you on top of that shit. You're going to know exactly what's wrong with you. You're going to know exactly where it stems from, where it comes from. You're going to be going back into your mind, back into your psyche, back into your childhood, back into all of the things that you thought you had gotten over, or essentially you have forgotten. You're going to go all the way back, and you're going to repair that shit. Like Bob the motherfucking Builder, y'all. You're going to go right back there, and you're going to rip that shit up and rebuild. You got to do it. It's necessity now. All right? All right.